It's the Sheats, part two, the podcast. Be your hope in God. As we vibe and let the music play, that's one of the tracks that's gonna be on the God Lives album or the Sheets um, part 11 of Sword of War. And that's just I want to talk about this. You know, I'm not perfect, and just like a lot of other people and millions of other people in this world, you're not perfect either. You have to understand that every day that we get up, we focus on what we're supposed to do and supposed to have and stay focused. But some of us, it's tough because you want it that bad, or you desire it that bad. I get it. You, you know, I'm Mr. Sheets and I'm just telling a story. Don't mind me. Hear what I'm saying. Okay, so listen to what listen to an example of life. Okay. Kirk was a great high school student. He was more popular around the whole um the whole people. He was popular back in them days, and he had a girlfriend named Jennifer. There's a story of Jennifer and Kirk. They just got together. I'm sitting here watching this back and forth. Just remember what I said. I'm watching these things. So remember, y'all, this is my life. Everything that I talk through music, everything that I said through my music, through all the chapters and music that y'all have heard, or some of y'all heard, not everybody. You understand um, what I'm saying. So she, I'm, I'm going to get into this. This is what I really want to talk about. Give you the example part of, okay, to give you the example part of this. Okay, excuse me. Okay, so it's Kurt and Sheila. I used the other story. I must have clicked. Okay, it's Kurt and Sheila. Like I said, Kurt was popular. Sheila was a all around girl in the neighborhood. They got together one one day out of the blue. We all sitting around the lunchroom. Me, uh, Kirk, and our group and their group or whatever, Sheila and all them. So we started to talk one day, and I said, "Bro, you know she ironed at you, right?" He said, "Yeah, I know she ironed at me. I just want to, kick it, kick it with her." I'm like, "You ain't too afraid to go over there and ask?" He said, "No." He said, "Man, you know Sheila went with homeboy last year." He said, "Yeah, I understand that, but I'm gonna go shoot my shot." So when he shot his shot, walked over there. She said, "Hey." He said, "Do you have English class with me?" "Yeah, I had English class." They got to talking. Really, technically, we couldn't hear a whole bunch of stuff. We just assumed on the outside, but this is a little bit that did abbreviate for me throughout the weeks past. Got to abbreviate a little about what's going on. You kind of can see them going out on dates, doing these things, and they got together, and it started out real good. Then as days went by, we go to school. Like they say, I had my little girlfriends. I had my little, my homegirls, girlfriends. I hung around a whole bunch of women. I hung around a whole bunch of men too, but more women than men. And 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 that's how I met a lot of other people along down the journey. But Kirk and Sheila was an example of um, high school sweethearts, and they made that journey from the time when we like between I say about the seventh grade, sixth grade, and then they went to junior high school. And we all went to the same school, and I'm just sitting here saying like, wow, they really they really digging each other. So that's what how they look. I didn't tell you what their race was or what their color was. Sheila was country girl. She was old country girl. She didn't play that. Um, Kurt was like he was hood, but he also was suburb city. He had it all in him like I did, and that's why he hung around me because I like to get in trouble. I like to you know correct things. I did skipping school. We did all that stuff. So me and Kurt got to talking one day, and I said, I got my own girl. He said, yeah. He said, y'all go out on a date or something, on a double date. And I said, man, we don't do that. He said, nah. Yeah. He said, I want to try to see. So we went out on a date. Went out to this um what's this movie theater thing? Movie theater. We sat around the movie theater in the car, the drive-in, as they call it back in the day, the drive-in. Had this stuff happening in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Still probably doing it. I ain't been around that scene for a long time, so I really technically don't know if they still got it around. But it was exciting. So sat one night, me, Kurt, Sheila, and my girl. I forgot her name was Robin. I think it was Robin Jinka, or something. I don't remember her name. We sat around in the car, chilling, eating popcorn, chewing on. One dude brought it out and said, hey Kurt, I heard you gonna, I heard you gonna, go to Notre Dame." Kurt said, "I ain't going to no Notre Dame. Who told you that?" And I said, "We brother." I said, "Kurt don't play football." So I got to clutching on my little 22 I had, because at that time I had a 22 on my 10 boot. Some days we had high tech boots, those called black boots, and Kurt had we had our little brim hat on, and our little bandana scarf, and then right on the other side, Sparky and all them was on the other side watching and doing what they were doing, and then kind of heard me say something. That's when they rise up. You know how a deer or a gorilla rise up when they baby scream or somebody, they rise up like they get ready to. And him and Kurt just really got back and forth kind of to it. And he said, "Mary, you coming here to start something? I'm trying to chill with my day. We ain't on that." He said, "I don't care who you is." He said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know I see y'all boys over here." And so before I knew it, I said, "No, no, no." I broke it. I said, "No, let's just keep the peace." Not knowing at that time I wouldn't even. The only reason why I did that because those other innocent people was out here other than us. Walked away from it. Went back to it. Went back home. Next day, we went to school. I went to school. Before I knew it, I heard somebody screaming in the bathroom. So everybody rushed to the bathroom. I said, "Bro, they got bro pinned down." And I looked down. Kurt had him up, folded it up. He folded him. He folded him up, folded him. So I said, "Kurt, man, come on, man. They go to the security guard, man. Let's go. He ran, left out the bathroom, man. Before I knew it, homeboy done brought 20 dudes from another school to come and handle just one thing with Kurt. And he said, "Oh, yeah, yeah, we're gonna get you too, bro. We're gonna get you too." I said, "Oh yeah, you know who I am?" He said, "No, bro." I said, "You gonna find out the hard way." He said, "What you saying?" I said, "You know what it is with me." He said, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about." I said, "Okay, you gonna see." at 2:30. He said 2:30. He said, why not now? Cause bro, I'm too fresh, too clean to be fighting y'all boys. I see y'all at that time. He said, all right, bet. Knowing the foolish things that people say, bet. And I'm like, bro, you in trouble. He don't know it. You in trouble. You don't know I got some lunatics with me. I got some ill people that don't care nothing about who you go run and go tell. They come in your neighborhood. They come and they coming around. See, my people thought different. They didn't just come in like in the neighborhood in cars. My people hid through the woods. My people are mountain climbers. My people, we used to play cowboys and Indians. We shooting bow and arrows. We throwing rocks. We taking chain brass knuckles. We catching you from when you be talking about gripping pistols and stuff like that. They didn't care nothing about that. They caught you, it was done. So we got into that whole